Hey there, welcome back to Tamara's Journey to Fit. Today I'm opening up about something that has deeply impacted my fitness journey. My struggles with asthma, especially growing up, and how I've managed it while pursuing my fitness goals. This is a part of my story that I haven't shared much about, but I think it's important to talk about because it's shaped who I am today. I was diagnosed with asthma at a really young age. It made physical activities difficult, and I often felt left out because I couldn't keep up with the other kids. I spent a lot of time in the hospital from a very young age to the age of about 10. Prednisone helped me with my asthma, but it did not help me with my body. I ate a lot of food when I was on prednisone, and in most of the videos that you see of me or pictures that you see of me as a young girl, I have really puffy cheeks and I look very, very chunky. I don't remember a time as a child that I actually felt skinny. I always felt like the chubby girl. As a teenager, the weight gain from prednisone and the limitations of my asthma really took a toll on my self-esteem. I felt like my body was working against me. It was tough to stay motivated when every workout or physical activity felt like an uphill battle. I often wondered if I could ever actually reach my fitness goals. I even limited myself and didn't allow myself to run. In track, I was put in many events. I was put in the 400 hurdles and I tripped over the third hurdle and continued on. I did finish that run. The entire crowd stood up for me and cheered for me. When I got to the end, I fell to the ground and I cried my face off. I completed it, but I was the slowest person on the track. After having our first son, I set out on a mission to run my very first mile. It was a mile from my hometown out to my grandparents' house, and I took off running. Thankfully, the beginning was a hill all the way until the bridge, and I just kept running. And when I got to the bridge, there were many times where I would look back and I'm like, I've made it this far, I might as well keep going. And I could hear my grandpa in my head saying, "You made it that far, why did you stop running?" So I just kept running and I just kept counting light poles and I'm like, there's only this many left, there's only that many left. And I just kept going. I was exhausted, my body hurt, but I knew I could do it. I was almost there. And when I finished, I felt so many emotions. I felt like I accomplished something. I felt like I broke through a barrier. I felt like I was let down most of my life because I believed that I couldn't run. I believed that I couldn't do the things that I just proved that I could do. Running that mile shifted everything, shifted my mindset, and made me understand that it's not a disability. It's just something that I have to manage. It's something that I have to be aware of. And it's something that I need to do things to improve my body so that it can't take over my life. It took time, but I definitely learned how to manage my asthma better. And I believe that because I was able to manage it, I haven't had asthma flare ups like I did when I was younger. As a child, I couldn't really speak about it. I couldn't describe what I was feeling to the people that were around me. So they didn't understand until it was too late. And then I had to go to the emergency room. I had to give a steroid shot, or I had to get prednisone, or I had to take a nebulizer treatment. And I constantly walked around with an inhaler. And now, as an adult, I know the minute I start getting tingly right here and my coughs won't stop, that I need to do something. It's almost too late. As I learned the symptoms to be aware of, I was able to treat it before allowing it to get to a terrible place. I take care of things before I go out on my run instead of waiting until I'm at the point of having an asthma attack. There were many times that I had to adjust my workouts to my breathing level, but I keep continuing to learn and grow and expand my lungs. I know that running does help my lungs, so I just keep going. I do listen to my body. When it does get really bad, I will stop and I will take a breather essentially and reevaluate and do things a little bit different, but I'm constantly learning and growing. When I set out to run my first 5K this year, I was really scared because I wasn't sure how it was going to be. I wasn't sure, honestly, if I could run that entire time, which I didn't. And I found out that runners don't actually run the whole time. Some of them do, but not all of them. And I found out that runners actually walk during training as well. They don't run all the time. So that was a huge eye opener for me. I used to do wogging, what I would call it, walking and jogging. I would alternate. And all that time, I didn't believe that I was a runner because I was walking while I was running. And I want to tell you, if you're someone who runs, you are a runner, period. End of story. It doesn't matter if you walk. It doesn't matter if you don't run sometimes. You know, you have days where you just walk. You're still a runner, okay? You need to know that. And if running is something that you want to do, and if you do have asthma or breathing issues, I highly recommend listening to your body, being proactive, and doing what you need to do to take care of yourself before you get to that point. Don't allow yourself to go so far to where you can't get it under control. After running my first 5K, I was like, I'm going to run as many of these as I can to attempt to get faster, to attempt to build endurance and see what I can accomplish. My first 5K, I was running with school kids. There was only 3 of us. They were a heck of a lot younger than me, but I finished and I was super proud of myself. The second one, there were 184 people total that actually ran. So it was kind of exciting to be amongst all of these other people. It was challenging to stay in my own lane, like so to speak. There were people who were older than me. There were males, there were females, there were people who were younger than me that were running, around me, with me, and ahead of me and behind me. And it was really hard to focus on this is for me. It's me against me. It's not me against all of these people. Like, obviously, it'd be cool to place somewhere. I placed 16 in that 5K in my category, which was females 30 to 39. To me, it was huge because it's not about placing. It's about what you can accomplish, and it's what you can accomplish for yourself. If you have something that you've had your eye on, I want to do a mud run. I want to do a 10K. I know that sounds crazy, but like, I want to be able to challenge myself. I saw someone do an ultra marathon and I was like, oh my gosh. But I'm like, I don't know if that's in the cards for me. Maybe it is down the road. I'm only 30, so I've got plenty of years ahead of me that I can be training and I can be growing and increasing my endurance and doing all of the things. But I want to be that old person that can run. I want to be someone who's 80 and still running races, essentially. When I broke through that barrier, it opened so many doors for me and created so many possibilities. And I'm like, if I can run, what else can I do? So now on my fitness journey, I want to see what my body can do. I want to see where my body can end up on January 2025. And a lot of times I blamed how I looked on genetics and the prednisone and, things that I have been through. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Holding on to that just holds me back from where I could be. So from that moment forward, I was like, I'm going for it. I'm going for everything that I thought I could never have. If you're someone who has asthma and you want to achieve a certain goal, I suggest starting slow, listening to your body, and doing within your means and gradually increase over time. Don't just go all in. With the 5K, I wasn't like, I'm going to run the whole 5K, do or die. It was, I'm going to run as much as I can. I'll walk when I need to. And with that first 5K, funny story, I had the stomach bug the day before and honestly thought I was going to pass out for most of the run. So I walked a majority of it, but I still got 45 minutes and I was like, hey, that's okay with me. Remember, it's not about perfection. It is about progress. Every small step forward is a step in the right direction. My journey with asthma has been challenging, but it has also made me stronger. I'm proud of how far I've come, and I hope my story inspires you to keep pushing forward, no matter what obstacles you face. If you've faced familiar struggles, I'd love to hear your story. Let's support each other in this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need a little encouragement today. Thanks for watching and being a part of my journey. See you next week for another episode of Tamara's Journey to Fit. Next week, we'll be talking about positive body talk and how to build a better relationship with your body. So stay tuned.